Ready? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh to all my brothers and sisters out here that's going to watch this video. You know, first of all, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our Master Muhammad, our leader, the unlettered prophet, and his family and his companions, and grant them abundant peace. And I ask Allah to bless all of the righteous people throughout every generation. They came to uphold Allah's deen and to establish justice and nobility in the land. In recent weeks, recent months and over the years, I've done a lot of extensive traveling, a lot of work in the community, in the grassroots. And what I find is that there seems to be a concerted effort to change the face of Islam in America. It kind of reminds me of, we all know that the fastest growing religion in America is Islam. And the people who are entering Islam the fastest are Black American descendants of captured slaves that came to America. And the interesting thing about that is that when I first became Muslim, it's for the years, over the years of the first 10 years I was Muslim, I seen that Islam had always had a very noble place in the Black community. In the beginning, of the time of the Prophet ﷺ, when the Muslims were being oppressed by the Quraysh, they made hijrah to Abyssinia, to Africa. Twice they made hijrah, and twice the rulers of Africa received them, protected them, and nurtured and allowed Islam to grow among their people. And we see that the Black Americans in America are following that same tradition. Islam has always been safe in the Black community. When you see, at some point after 9/11, our brothers from abroad, our immigrant brothers, began to assert their influence, and the media began to change the face of Islam. So now you started seeing, people from other places, people with emerging as the face of Islam that were not, considered to be American, or American-born, or even African-American indigenous people. And so all of a sudden a term came called Islamophobia, you see. And Islamophobia came about because these immigrants began to leave the Black community and try to take Islam into white suburbia, into the white community. And from that, there's been a backlash because of the things that have happened with Al-Qaeda, 9/11, with ISIS, and all these different groups abroad. It affects, it created a sort of backlash and a sort of negative, feeling towards the Muslims that were from these places, when these things happen. I think that as a Black American, as a Muslim Black American activist, I think that, at this time we have to get back and increase our efforts in being of service to young Black people and young Latino people, because these are the people in these places, in these neighborhoods, that are accepting Islam. These are the people that are becoming Islam. If I run a business and the majority of my customers are Puerto Rican or Latino, right? I might try to do a marketing program to invite some more people, but when I do that marketing program, I'm not going to interrupt, my cash flow or my flow of customers coming in from the Latino, because this is the bread and butter. This is 90% of the customers that I have. So I will still kind of cater to them, because this is where most of my income or most of my flow of customers are coming in. The same thing with Islam. Because of the flow of Black Americans and Black American males in general coming into Islam, we should put special emphasis in dealing with the problems that these Black males or these Black American people face in their day-to-day life in America. So we have to begin to address the issues that we are entering into Islam with, inshallah ta'ala.